I'm fine. There's peaks and valleys in any job. There's moments when you say, okay, how much do you have in the tank, and how much do you have left to do? And everyone looks at their career in segments, I guess. I remember talking to Jerry when I first came here. I said 10 years would be a good run. I remember that. Jerry reminds me of that I think he was counting the days. I think you get to spots, and you got to decide, what's next. And for me, I've had other opportunities outside of sports to go do other things. And she will tell you, it crossed my mind. But at the end of the day, I don't think we finished the job here, and I want to finish the deal. I want to make sure that when we leave here, there is no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind now that we've left it better right now. If we left today, it'd be better than when we came. But I want there to be no doubt that when we leave, that all these coaches sitting around this room have got what they need to be successful. I owe that to them. I don't want to leave them hanging, and I don't want to leave our student athletes hanging, and I don't want to leave this university in a spot where we don't give them the best chance to compete in this league. And I think that this time frame gives me energy. You always have to have something to shoot for, and this gives me that. That's the goal that I have. That's the last thing on the table. We had cultural change at the beginning, and I think we changed the culture of our department. And now the next piece is moving off cultural change to facility change and absolute resource change for our kids to be able to have a chance to finish it up. And that energizes me. That gives me energy. Now, I'm 52. I'll be 60 when this thing finishes. If everybody gives me an opportunity to do that, 60, we'll have another conversation, and we'll see what's left in my deal. I may be on a mountain in Nepal or something. I have no idea. But there may be other things in my deal. I'm not sure I got that. But we'll see.
Dr. Todd, I have a question for you. How does this affect the presidential search? What you have done is give the next president an athletics director for 8 years. And rather than, we don't know who that, I assume we don't know who that person is going to be at this point. And if this person decides that he or she would like to hire his or her own athletic director, as I understand it from the contract, the university would be liable for somewhere between this is a quick calculation, $2.7 and $2.8 million to do that. What is that going to thin out or otherwise affect the pool of candidates for the UK presidency?
Absolutely not. I'm doing a heck of a favor for the next person to be president of this university, and don't think I'm not. If I had walked into this job my first year and had not had to have anything to worry about with respect to athletics, I could have gotten a lot more done a lot faster. And Mitch Barnhart does not have a reputation just with me. He's got it nationally. People know who he is. And I'll talk to any candidate that wants to talk about this, and I will tell them that this is one thing that I'm extremely
Guess I answered my own question.
Earlier you mentioned market rates of pay, and the $125,000 has got to be quite a blow for faculty and staff who haven't had raises for 3 years. And I know that you have talked about that in the past at the University of Kentucky Board of Trustees meetings, and talked about alleviating that. But at the same time, this salary jump alone is 2 to 3 times what some of your faculty and staff members make. How are they to interpret this in terms of the financial situation in which they find themselves?
Well, I've said it before, but it obviously doesn't get through to some people that there's a marketplace out there. You know, there's a marketplace for research,